Hello, guys. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 20th episode of AMA With DNK. I am super excited to host all of you today. I have a great session lined up for you, and I hope you all are also excited. It's a fantastic session I have lined up for all of you. So, yeah, let's quickly get started. And as you can see, the title for today is Importance of Startup Community Building. We're going to talk a lot about, I think what better time to talk about community building than this, because it's a 20th episode. I have been doing it for almost 6 months now, and somehow we have been able to create a small community around us, right? We all are a part of the community, all right. So quickly, let's get started. And of course, if you haven't liked the video, please make sure you like the video. If you haven't subscribed the channel, I would request all of you to subscribe the channel. And most importantly, make sure you drop your questions in chat so that I can answer as many of them as possible. So let's get started. So, welcome to AMA with DNK. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday night live stream, episode number 20th, Importance of Startup Community Building. I have a great session lined up for all of you, but before we jump, allow me to quickly introduce myself. My name is Dilnawaz. I'm the founder of Codesign Labs and PowerTech. I'm an entrepreneur with a decade-long experience in startup space, especially around design technology and startup incubation industry. And if you want to know more about me, you can follow my journey on Instagram or LinkedIn. The Instagram handle is running in the ticker below. And if you are here for the first time, make sure you like the video, subscribe the channel, and spread a word. You can also put up an Instagram story and tag me. My handle is there. And if you're here, as I said, I mean either you mean business, you're an entrepreneur, or maybe an aspiring one. And I do these sessions so that I can help as many as of you possible. So as I said, I have a great session lined up for you tonight. I have five broad topics about which I'm going to talk with all of you. First of all, I'm going to talk about startup communities, primarily from the point of view of combating loneliness. It is, make sure this is not a session on mental health or anything like that. We're primarily going to talk about the importance of community, because building a startup and getting into the startup game is a very, very lonely journey. So we're going to talk about combating loneliness. We're also going to talk a bit about seeking support. How can you support? What are the ways you can reach out to community and build a community and seek support? Leveraging communities for building your business. Another important thing, which in fact I was not able to find any information online, which I have for you, which is communities fail. We have so many WhatsApp groups, we have so many Facebook pages, we have so much of community noise, pages, groups out there, but why did they fail? And how can you create your own which does not fail but fulfill the purpose? And last but not the least, we will be talking about Discord server. All right. So as I said, I have a fantastic session lined up for you. Make sure to like the video, subscribe the channel, and let's get started. All right. So let's first of all talk about, guys, about why it is important to build a startup community, or why do we even need a startup community in first place. So we all know, we have all seen that when we are building a startup, it's a very, very lonely journey. In fact, I have done a dedicated video on it, where I've spoken about why it is also important to find a co-founder, right? Because a lot of people think that when they'll get a co-founder, they will have problem in terms of taking decisions. But take my advice on that. When you get a co-founder on board, it is not just the physical work, kind of it's not just the physical work that's get divided. It is not just the responsibilities that get divided, and it is not uh, you know just the complementary skill set that the co-founder brings to the table. It is lot of mental peace as well. When you get a co-founder, if you are not planning to work on a day, especially in the early stages of the company, if you are feeling down, if you have anything emergency, if you have any other thing to take care of, the co-founder is always there to take care of you, right? And specifically, that's the reason why we always tell that an ideal co-founder is somebody who not only brings in the complementary skill set, but also brings in a lot of trust, right? So any random person cannot be a co-founder. And there are a lot of details and articles on that, wherein if you have to find a co-founder, make sure you know him, you work with him or her on a project, you have a very good repo, and you trust each other, right? That's the importance of a co-founder, right? But beyond co-founder, beyond your company, beyond your core team, beyond your core friends, beyond your co-founder, in general, also startup is a really lonely journey. Because, and in fact, a lot of you who are aspiring entrepreneurs, take this as an advice. I have been into the space from almost 12 years now. It is tough in general. When you are building a startup, you don't have friends in general, for a very simple reason that, number one, your entire focus is on your work. And then in general, you don't get people to chill around with. For example, if you're in college, you will have friends who are your classmates or batchmates or maybe seniors. If you are in a corporate job, you will have colleagues with whom you'll be working. But as a startup, one, you are a boss, so you will have employees, and you can not just chill with them on a daily basis. And in general, you will have very little friends, because most of your friends have already moved on to working in corporate, and there'll be only a few people who will be building the startup. All right. So that is the place wherein the importance of community come into play, right? Now, it is important to build a community or join a community for primarily five particular reasons, or maybe what are the ways, what are the communities you can work and join, and how will it help you to battle loneliness. So number one is networking. You can start building community, or a community will help you with networking, right? It will help you. You can go and meet random people out there who are sailing in the same boat. See, as I said, again, I'm repeating myself, entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. And if you go and become a part of a community where almost everybody is going through the phase which you are going through, I'm sure you will have a lot of synergies to develop. You will have a lot of similar problems, and together you guys can work out on those problems, especially if you're a lonely, or if you're a single founder, or even if you're two. I think it'll be tough. So networking opportunity, building a network, reaching out to similar people is one big advantage while you're building a while you seek out to community to take help, right? Another great way, or another way you could be helped, is by a mentor group. So if I think it's a very unconventional advice that I want to give you now, but always make sure you have some sort of a mentor with whom you can discuss your ideas, or use him as a bouncing board. He can be a business mentor, he can be a general advisor, maybe a financial mentor, or maybe somebody whom you consider as a role model or a friend. It's important to talk to somebody, let out your kind of heat, and spend some time with talking about talking your ideas, things you have in your mind. Because a lot of times also you will have existential issues with your own self when you're building a startup. Because something like this, कि क्या मैं सही कर रहा हूँ, एम आई इन द राइट स्पेस, क्या मैं सक्सेसफुल हो पाऊंगा, क्या कंपनी बिल्ड करना चाहिए भी नहीं चाहिए, क्या मैं सही तो कर रहा हूँ, क्या मैंने सही डिसीजन लिया है. These are a lot of questions that you as an early stage entrepreneur will encounter yourself, especially when you'll see your peers doing far better than you, especially if they're in a corporate job, right? Because in the initial years, rather, not in days, in the initial years, startup is not a well paying or a well brand building activity, right? But it's a long term game, right? So mentor group is another way you can let that heat out, right? Third, which is a general advice, but it hasn't worked for me, and because, again, for the lack of time, because so I have another thing that I will talk about. But another big advice that you can leverage upon is picking up a sport. So if you are living in a city, if you like a sport, you can always go and play with people, and this will eventually give you a kind of space to let out your heat, or share your ideas while you're playing. So pick a sport is another advice, but I can't give you much gyan on this particular thing, because this hasn't worked out for me, or I haven't even tried doing it. But last thing, and most important thing that I personally believe, and it has worked out for me, is picking up a hobby, right? Pick up any hobby that you think will give you some space to let your heat out, and can help you in battling loneliness. For example, this is what I do as my hobby, right? I have picked podcasting, picked YouTubing, picked make videos as a hobby. I'm excited about this thing because of course I'm not building it as a value proposition, but it gives me huge return in terms of brand value. But also it gives me it keeps me disciplined, it keeps me consistent, and it gives me some time to come and talk to all of you guys here, right? So pick up a hobby. It can be anything, right? From, and I'll not say those stupid things like reading, listening to music, and cycling. Those are what kids do. But some hobby that helps you both creatively, can challenge you in some way or the other, and also keeps you motivated, and then you're excited for it, right? Maybe gymming, maybe exercise, or maybe any other hobby. So the point I'm trying to make here is that make sure you have some sort of a let out space for you in order to battle loneliness. As I said, it will be really tough for all of you who are single co-founders or co-founders, single founders, or maybe two co-founders, especially in the early stages. You will have a lot of existential questions on about yourself, right? So this is one big problem that a lot of people suffer from. And of course, community building is a great activity, while we're doing that. If you guys, if all those who are listening to me, if you have done anything, of course I'm here to talk to you. I'm also open to listen to a lot of things you want to say. So if you think you have another out of these 4 points: networking, mentoring group, picking up a sport, or a hobby, if you think something has worked out for you, some hack, some tip or trick in battling your loneliness as a startup founder, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to kind of talk a lot more about that. So chat is open, guys. Talk to me in chat, through your comments, through your pointers, and of course drop whatever spam chat. It's for purely for spamming, right? Now, moving on to the second part, and of course keep on asking your questions. I do this session to talk to a lot of you with whom I'm not able to interact and talk in routine kind of week, because I'm super occupied. But this session is purely for you. And of course, if you have any other question also beyond communities, we'll be more than happy to discuss. And also most importantly, the Discord link is in the description of this video. So if you just want to join the Discord, come here. Don't join before explaining the entire Discord. Today I'll spend some time in explaining the Discord also that we have set up for you. It's a fantastic micro community hangout place we have set up for all of you guys who aspire to be entrepreneurs. All right. So I will talk about that also a bit in the end, by the time we're about to wrap this session today, right? Now, how can you find people, or what are the quick hacks or quick way of getting into a community, right? Or getting into a startup community space, right? Because that is what we're going to talk about today. So the first way, and the easiest to the lowest hanging fruit, is to go or enroll for an incubator, or go and enroll for an accelerator program, or go and enroll for a competition, maybe for a boot camp. If not a co-working space, I think that's a great way of accessing community. Although of course a lot of us are working out of our homes, and because out of because of this coronavirus pandemic, we are at our homes. But again, there are a lot of digital virtual incubation programs are happening, where they allow you to come online and talk to people. And I think if nothing else works, online is the best way. And I think it is, wherein on one hand it has put us in our small boxes, it has also given us a lot of time to kind of explore and be more productive and work on the projects that were kind of in the pipeline for a long time, right? So I think you can, as I said, you can sign up for an incubator program, you can sign up for an accelerator program, you can sign up for a competition, you can sign up for a boot camp. And if you have nothing else to do, maybe go and mentor people if you're a senior entrepreneur. So that's a great way of getting into the community or accessing that particular space, right? And a co-working space also, as I said. But I know most of the co-working spaces are not functional as of this point in time, right? Another great way is to join dedicated startup communities. And of course, I will be speaking on why they fail, right? That's also important, because that will give you an idea what communities not to join. All right. So I'll also be talking about that a bit in a while, right? So startup communities is a great way of meeting like-minded people. There's so many communities for early stage entrepreneurs, to sectoral businesses, to curated communities to a small, from a small level to a big level. I have a few names with me. For example, if you're a student, NEN is a great community, right? National Entrepreneurship Network. You can be a part of it. I know I have a very close friend called Jatin. He runs a community called Echai. So there are a lot of local communities as well. For entrepreneurs, there are formal communities like ASOCHAM, TAI, Entrepreneurs Organization, YPO, right? And then so many local small communities built around cafes and smaller groups, right? In fact, WhatsApp has start on WhatsApp. You can find a lot of small groups and communities, right? But they're not a great way. So these are a great places where you can go and meet like-minded people. So startup communities, as I've named a few, can also be a great part to be, can be a great way to be a part of the community. And as I said, last but not least, online communities. There are a lot of Facebook groups, maybe private Facebook groups, maybe public Facebook group, a lot of groups on Slack, lot of communities on Discord, uh, which are there where you will go and find like-minded people. So there are a lot of ways you can go and be a part of the community, whether incubator, as I'm repeating, incubator program, affiliate program, competition, boot camps, co-working spaces. Then you have startup communities which are dedicated for entrepreneurs. Again, they can be sectoral, they can be, most importantly, general, they can be stage wise. Any of the space where you're in, you can go and join a similar of the community that you want. And then last but not the least, online communities, groups, Facebook pages, WhatsApp groups, things like that. Right now, there's a very important point that I want to talk to you before I jump onto leveraging community part, because this is something which will excite you, because all of you who are here listening to me, I'm sure, and give me an acknowledgement if you agree with what I'm saying. Maybe say a yes or a no. Give me an acknowledgement if you agree with me. uh, that most of the WhatsApp groups are not a great community, or most of the Facebook pages are not a great community, right? So if you agree with me there, give me a feedback in the comment that you agree with me, because I know I have almost I'm a part of almost 50 plus WhatsApp groups, but WhatsApp is not a great community. Facebook group is not a great community, and we have seen that. So they have somehow failed the entire purpose. They look more spammy, if I may use the word. So tell me your thoughts in chat. What do you think, guys? Do you also think WhatsApp has failed from the entrepreneurship community point of view? Tell me your feedback in chat. So there are a couple of points I have at least prepared, or at least I have figured out why WhatsApp and Facebook groups and online community fail, right? One of the biggest reasons why they failed is they're hugely unmoderated, right? So WhatsApp is not a great tool to build a community. It is either you can either allow people to send a message, or you don't allow them to send a message, right? So they're hugely unmoderated, and then there's so many of them that people just kind of bombard there, right? Community building is a full-time activity. That's why a lot of companies like Microsoft and Google have now full-time community managers. So in fact, a great point that I am just thinking aloud, I'm talking to, and I just realized that a lot of you who don't want to be an entrepreneur, I think community building or community management is a full-time profession nowadays, right? In fact, for that matter, at Codesign Labs, when we curate freelancers, I think we also have a community manager, and we somehow are able to manage a community, right? So I think one, WhatsApp has failed because it's hugely unmoderated, it's spammy. You if you just keep it one-sided channel mainly for admins, people lose interest because they can't interact. Or if you keep it open, anybody can push any shit there, and then either if it's off the topic, it's spammy, people use it to do push sales, and then things fall apart. So people start losing interest and start leaving, right? So there's still a huge gap in the market where a great entrepreneurial community can be built, all right? And of course, I will go deeper into how can you leverage community building as a business, right? I will also be talking a bit about that in the end, right? Second, as I said, they're meaningless. A lot of WhatsApp groups, when they were built for a purpose, but eventually become meaningless. They become spammy. Like Pulkit has already said, and I can see all your comment, guys, right? Arjun agrees, Pulkit agrees, and of course Pulkit says everybody is just spamming and on these social media groups. Absolutely, people are just simply spamming, right? uh, Another reason why online communities have somehow failed is that because they have low or missing engagement, right? So the best way of building a community is to engage people. Now this is really tough, right? uh, because making a WhatsApp group is free, starting a Discord is simple, right? Any hi Shaurya, sorry, I'm breaking the flow of the conversation. Hi Shaurya, how are you? Thank you for joining in, right? So the biggest point is the misengagement. Now what do I mean by missing engagement, right? When you're building community, every person the community, at least if not should be feeling important, at least he should be feeling that he's being heard, right? If you build a community of people where they feel they're insignificant, or they're not being heard, there's no sense in building that sort of a community, right? People should have micro groups. People should have a group where they feel they're a part of something big, right? That's where online communities fail, because they miss on engagement. And of course most of these communities have a problem also, because they're driven by the algorithm of the platform. So even if you build a community on YouTube, even if you build a community on Instagram and you have followers, you can see that with time the engagement on Facebook, with time the engagement on WhatsApp, with time the engagement on any and everything else is going down. So the platforms are going crazy and going bad. In fact, just to add, I'm planning, in fact I'm writing that particular thing right now. I am planning to do a dedicated live on social media strategies and social media platforms you should be watching out in 2021, because that's also very important for all of you guys. Another request before I move ahead, before I move on to my last point, right? All those who are watching, like for example True Cars has said I was waiting for this live. A lot of you have also reached out to me that you don't get notifications. Guys, as I said, this is the problem with community building online, especially online tools. The algorithms have become shitty, and they will try and reduce the reach. They will keep on doing that. I would request all of you to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You make sure you press the subscribe button, but that way that is not enough. The challenge is make sure you also turn on the bell icon, because if you haven't done that, YouTube will not give you notification. Also make sure join the Discord. So at least from my end, trust me, at least from my end, I'm trying to do best in order to reach out to you guys. I make sure I individually DM you on Instagram to almost everybody who's on my top 100 list. I make sure I'm reaching out to you on WhatsApp when I do these sessions. I make sure I'm sending you an emailer as well. But even despite that, a lot of people don't get notifications at the right time. And the problem is, if you don't join the live, you will not get an opportunity to talk and interact and ask questions, right? Which primarily the reason is this, to host the session, right? So make sure to at least turn on the bell icon at this point in time, and later on once the Discord is there, it becomes moderate, it becomes streamlined. I'm sure a lot of notification and moderation will be happening there, which brings me to my fourth point, or the fifth point. The problem with a lot of online communities is that they miss an anchor, or they miss moderation. So even if the moderation is there, they miss an anchor. What do I mean by anchor? They miss a face, they miss somebody who can lead the community. See, if you leave people in a room, they will somehow be able to find a leader, or find an anchor point. It's a natural way how human works, right? You in an online community, you cannot just leave things open ended, because if you, let us say, put 100 people in a room, it will be chaotic. You need to set the agenda, you need to set the meaning, you need to set a lot of things so that people know why and what and where they are, and why they're for why they are there for, right? uh, one of the biggest reasons why I do my lives, therefore one of the reasons why I do my live are in this kind of a formatted way, because if imagine if I come online on every Saturday and start talking about random things, you guys will not be with me, you'll not figure out. So therefore I prepare a session, I make a presentation, I jot down my points, I know what I'm going to talk about, I decide a title, I decide a topic, I do my own research, and therefore I have something to revolve around. So this is also an anchor, right? When I talk about one particular topic, you are also tuned in. Even if you're listening for 10 minutes, you're going to learn something new, you have something to contribute to. So we all are basically talking about one particular thing, although I am talking majorly, but you guys can always respond in chat and let me know what you think, right? So we are also talking about a particular topic. It's not random AMA where you ask me about any random thing, right? So if this makes sense to you, if what I'm saying, if this makes sense to you, drop a boom in chat or drop an agree in chat, so that I know you get what I'm saying, right? This is the reason why you need an anchor, or you need an agenda. So The biggest problem with the communities is also agenda. In fact, if you missed my last video where I spoke about businesses in 2021, a lot of businesses, in fact everything going forward, will start getting vertical or deep in terms of expertise, whether it is a startup idea, whether it is a community, whether it is anything. People have more noise. There's less time on everybody's plate. People are busy, there are a lot of distractions, and therefore people would with time would need a very clear cut communication. They would want very clear cut information, and things have to be really, really well crafted in terms of communication and messaging. Whether you are whether you're pitching, whether you're selling, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're hiring people, the communication will have to be laser sharp, laser focused. You need to tell people, hey, this is who I am and this is what I mean, right? Because if you're not able to do that, you will not be able to neither raise money, nor make sales, nor be able to build a business, nor hire people, nothing, right? So for example, my YouTube channel is very focused, very dedicated. I want to talk about entrepreneurship, startups, and career. That's it. No bullshit, right? So you will have to develop this. So coming back to the core point we were talking about, missing anchor. A lot of communities miss an anchor. So concluding the entire point, just for all of you, why communities fail: they're unmoderated, they lack meaning a lot of times, they become spammy, they miss engagement, or they're super low engagement. People feel insignificant, and most importantly, they're unmoderated or miss an anchor, do not align people with their thought and goals. But if communities are such a bad place, why communities exist, right? So what are the advantages of communities? Let's quickly speak about that a bit. What are the advantages of communities, right? So the lot of advantages that entrepreneurs find in communities, right? As I said, one, of course, it will help you to battle loneliness, right? It will help you to battle loneliness. You will find like-minded people where you can go and talk. But also, most importantly, it will help you in generating leads and maybe revenue in form of business, right? So if you are somebody who's into very early stage of startup, right, you can always collaborate, work together, generate leads. If you are not in a non-competing business, or maybe even in a competing business, maybe you are selling at a different price bracket, or the other guy is selling at a different price bracket, so you are not technically competing because you're at a different slot. Or maybe if you guys are not, if you're into similar industry but not doing similar things, for example, one of you is a logo designer, another specialized into UI UX, or maybe social media graphic, you can always collaborate. So you can generate leads, you can generate business. That can be done. In fact, you can also get access to a lot of deals. A lot of community specific or community oriented deals are happening now. And the best example is Groupon. What Groupon was trying to do was trying to leverage the power of community, that they used to build a community of people, and they say, hey, if we do collective buying, can you give me this deal? And the reason why that was successful, because the business on the other side was getting a lot of customers, therefore he was making huge money, and therefore he would not mind paying some sort of a discount to the group. And because of the collective power of the group or the community, they were able to get better deal or better pricing. So deal becomes another thing, right? Another reason why communities are great is because they will enable you to seek support, and not support only from the mental point of view, but also from the money point of view, resource point of view, and team point of view, right? And last, two very important things which have untangible value, which have infinite value in my opinion. One is they will enable you to discuss ideas, prepositions, and a lot more things at length with people. If the community is well built, you'll find people with whom you can discuss your ideas, talk to them, discuss business prepositions, use them as a bouncing board. And last but not the least, which is a gold mine, you will be able to learn from other people's experience. I think that is something which is unvaluable, right? So for example, if you find somebody in that community who has gone through that path, and it's more like indirect mentoring, right? So if you find somebody into that community, into that particular group, wherein that guy is not, or has built a business into that sector, or has failed maybe, or has some sort of an experience of maybe finding early customers, dealing with investors, hiring people, and in everything, any question that you have, I think experience sharing becomes an intangible value proposition that should enable you to be a part of the community, right? So I will now give a few minutes, rather not seconds, few minutes to you guys to take a pause, absorb all the things. Right now, till now, I have spoken about primarily three things: why communities are important, how can you better loneliness, how can you find great communities, or how can you find great people, how can you leverage communities, and also most importantly, why communities fail, right? So beyond this, when we move, right, I will now be talking about Discord and how can you build great communities, and of course, most importantly, how can you as a first time entrepreneur or an early stage entrepreneur leverage the power of communities. We'll talk about that in a bit. Before that, let me quickly scroll through the chat and see the questions that are coming in, and of course a few people have shared their inputs as well. Let me also read them out. So once again, of course, there are a couple of people watching. Thank you so much once again for joining in and tuning in. Stay till the end. We'll also be talking about the Discord server. I'll be showing you the Discord, and I'll also request you, if you're in a rush or want to do something else, make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the footer of the video, the description of the video. Like the video, please make sure. That's very, very important for me, because YouTube will help me to push this video to more people. And subscribe the channel, turn on the bell icon, because YouTube, it has become somehow stupid and is not giving notification to enough people. So make sure you do that. All right. Quickly, and of course, let me also thank people who have commented. So thanks Pulkit, thanks Harsh for joining in, thanks Dheeraj, thanks Lakhan. We have Shivani also. Hey Shivani, thanks Dheeraj for joining in. Jayant is there, Arun, Praveen, Randeep, Ayush, Shaurya, I've already said hi to. And a lot of you are watching. True Cars, Harshit, Shivangi. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let me start reading your questions. Dheeraj has a question. I have a business idea. Just want to know how is it to start a business in Internet of Things. So Dheeraj, it's a very interesting question. First of all of you guys who are listening to this need to understand that Internet of Things is not an idea, or Internet of Things is not a product. Internet of Things is an enabler. So anything which is enabler. So for example, if I say I know PHP, and how is it to start a business in PHP domain, or maybe web development domain, or maybe IoT, AR, VR, all sort of things. All of these things that you talk about, including blockchain and crypto, all of these are enablers, right? When you say you have an idea in IoT is a hot sector going ahead. IoT is the future. IoT, AI, AR, VR, they are the future. They are the future enabler technologies. But it depends upon what kind of idea that is, what kind of product that is, what is the product market fit for that matter. Most importantly, what is the price point, what is the competition, how much is the demand. You will have to checklist and figure out all those pointers. Once you're able to figure all those things out, then you'll be able to figure out whether your product is a great fit or not. And there's a possibility, once you start doing that, then it's a possibility that you'll be able to figure out that whether it can be built on the IoT technology or not, right? Pulkit has a very interesting question. I want to ask that why having a jugaad is bad. Pulkit, I can give you a mixed answer to that, right? It depends. Jugaad is a good thing to do. Jugaad is a bad thing to do. If you're hacking something, if you're in a rush, if you want to save time and money, jugaad is a great thing to do. In long run, jugaads don't work, right? So based on, as I said, what is the trade-off? If the keyword is trade-off, the keyword is trade-off. Based on what's the trade-off, you need to figure out whether the jugaad will work or not. So it is not like that jugaad will always fail, or jugaad is not the great thing. No, it's not like that. Jugaad is a good thing to do. Technically, the word for jugaad in English is called frugal innovation. So a lot of innovators use that. In fact, a lot of grassroots innovators use jugaad as a core technology in their product. So I think definitely jugaad can be done based on where are you doing. So if you're, let's say, flying an aeroplane, you can't do jugaad, right? But if your bicycle gets punctured, you can do jugaad, right? I hope you understand the gravity of the situation that I'm trying to talk about. If it's doable, does not have a hardcore repercussion, do jugaad. If you think the price to pay is huge, don't do jugaad, right? Jayant has a very interesting question: how to find right mentor and how to reach out to them. See, the right mentor. Okay, Jayant, in fact, I'll pick this question in the end, because this question will take at least 10 minutes of explanation, because finding a mentor is a topic in itself, right? Maybe if you want, I can do a dedicated video on finding a mentor. So let me know in comment, Jent, if you're still here, and others also watching. Let me know in the comment, do you want me to do a video on dedicated mentors? Let me quickly check my channel and let me know, guys, if you follow me. Have I done a video on finding a mentor? I don't know how come I forgot this particular thing. I think mentor is very, very important. Finding a mentor has a lot of importance in building a startup. I don't know how could I not do a video on mentoring and mentor. Oh gosh. So I haven't done a video on mentor. Thank you, Jen, for asking the question. Let me do my next video on mentoring. Okay. So because this is one topic, because it would need another 1 hour explanation, I'll pick this up as a dedicated video next time. All right. Then Pulkit says one of the reasons is that you can add 250 member, but it's not just 250 member. Random people can join in. They become spammy and things like that. So therefore, it's bad. For that's why the WhatsApp group is not a great community building activity. You, as I said, everybody in these groups is just spamming, and the social media is also on the same track, right? Uh, Now, there's a question from Harshit which I'll pick in the end. And there's also a question. It's not a question that Shivangi has. Shivangi has a comment. Let me read it quickly. WhatsApp and FB are not great communities because audience client people don't check it out like I don't do. I did 10, 15 groups and everybody keeps posting product details over there. And not everybody in the group checks out the product. Shivangi, just to build on top of it, see, uh, WhatsApp, and so primarily, again, the nature and the behavior is very different in both the platforms. I would still say that Facebook is a great community building activity. WhatsApp is always there on a phone, so if a WhatsApp is too spammy, we mute it, right? And the conversations is non-trackable. The random things happening at random point in time. There are two people fighting, and then somebody's posting about some important information which gets lost. And sometimes, on an average, a group also reaches to a, if you mute it, and if the discussion or debate is going on, the conversation length can go to 200 or 500 messages, which is not a great way, right? But rather, on the other hand, I would say Facebook groups are a great community way of building and engaging community, right? But as I said, the problem is the anchor is missing and the moderation is also missing. So I still suggest that Facebook is a great way of building a community for a very important reason, that Facebook is accessible. And if you're a professional, I can assure you, if you're a professional, if you're somebody who's busy, if you're into full-time job, you would have by far and by now muted your Facebook, right? So अब आप Facebook दिन में एक बार जाके खोलते हो, 2 बार जाके खोलते हो. I'm sure if you would, because if you turn on the Facebook notification now in 2020, you will go nuts, my friend. You will go crazy, right? So अब आप Facebook notification चालू करके छोड़ दो, आप पागल हो जाने वाले हो, ठीक है? तो फेसबुक का नोटिफिकेशन, सिमिलरली व्हाट्सएप का भी लोग बंद करते थे, बट एज आई सेड, व्हाट्सएप का यूएक्स जो है, इट्स ऑलरेडी अ क्रैपी प्लेस, राइट? बहुत छोटी जगह है, क्लस्टरफोबिक है, 200 कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रहे हैं, दे ऑल मिक्स्ड अप, जम्बल्ड अप, so you'll not put your brain into that. But Facebook पे still the conversation and the posts are segregated, so it gives still a better UI UX. The challenge with Facebook, it's not well moderated. I know a few groups which are really well moderated, but still a lot of efforts have to be done, because as I said, building community is a full-time job, my friends. Looking at a few more comments. Okay, Jayant, hell yeah, let's do it, Jayant. Next video for you, my friend. Let's do a video on mentoring and importance of mentoring. I'm sure you will show up, and make sure, as I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Make sure you get the notification next time when we do that. And Dheeraj also acknowledges, yes, let's do that. And I hope you guys will help me in promoting that video. I'm trying to reach out to as many people as possible. And if you find this useful, make sure to talk about it. Why not talk about good content that we consume, right? We always keep on talking about memes and Netflix things, right? Why not talk about this, right? So coming back to our topic, right? What are the advantages of building a community for you as a very, very early stage entrepreneur? Why should you be thinking of building a community, right? So let's talk about that, and then in the end we'll move on to Discord and answer a few more questions which are there pending yet, right? So one is most important. You can always use the community as a test market. This is something which a lot of people don't think from the point of view of doing this. And another challenge is a lot of people also hesitate when it comes to sales, right? But I personally believe that if you're really good at something, there's no harm in talking about and selling it. Worst kind, that somebody else will not buy it. See, entrepreneur is hardcore salesman. He is always selling himself, and he can only sell when he believes in the product himself, of course. So for example, when I do content, when I do YouTube videos, when I do lives, I have done enough homework, I am well prepared to talk to all of you guys and answer your questions. So therefore I'm skilled, I'm prepared, I'm confident, and therefore I can always sell myself. Because as a society, we are majorly not a sales driven society or money driven society. We think sales is a bad thing, but sales is not a bad thing if you're able to crack sales. In fact, I was talking at one of the forums this morning, and I was telling the same people there that imagine, even when you apply for a job, you're selling yourself, right? Because if you sit in front of an HR, your resume is basically your product specification, right? And you're going and telling to the HR that, hey, hire me because I'm the best of the lot. You have a batch of 300 people, so these are 300 products, but I can only buy 10. So hire me because my product specification is the best, right? That is what you do, right? So we sell ourselves. So we all need to learn sales, right? So therefore, using that initial community as a test market is very, very important. And not just test market, but that community can also help you in doing something called as pre-sales. Now, listen to this very, very carefully. A lot of, in fact, in a lot of programs and forums I've spoken about this. I do dedicated sessions around pitching, I've spoken about this there. There are a lot of people, when it comes to raising money for the startup, think that only investors are a great way of raising money, which is not. In fact, I'm not sure how many of you follow me on Instagram. I was making a few carousels sometimes back, but I've kind of stopped doing it at this point in time because of lack of bandwidth, and I'll start very soon. But see, I did a small post called as raising money without external investors. If you can see that, right? Go and check that on my Instagram, right? The point is, there are enough smart ways of raising money without investors, technically without institutional investors. And in fact, if you're at idea stage entrepreneur, investors will any which is not forget fund you. They'll not even listen to you. In fact, any professional investor will not even talk to it if you're in idea stage. So there are enough ways of raising money. Go and check that post out. If you like, share it on your social media. So there are enough ways. Pre-sales is one of them, right? What is pre-sales? You have a product, you talk about it to the people, use them as test market, and even before you launch, sell the product to them. In fact, companies like Tesla has done that. Apple launches iPhone and MacBooks, does it every time. So if $1 trillion company and $1 billion company, one is like a $2 trillion or $1 trillion company, and there's a $500 billion company, right? If those guys can do it, why can't you, my friends? Of course, it will be difficult. It will not be easy, but pre-sales is a great way. And I said, test market, community, pre-sales, great way. Third and most important thing is, if you are a part of community, people will trust you more, right? Because they keep on seeing you. If you become an anchor, they keep on seeing you. The reason why you stay till the end, you watch my videos, you come reach out to my in my Instagram DM, seek advice, is because you somehow trust me, right? We have developed this bond over months now, right? When I started this channel, I had 50 subscribers, right? I have almost, what, if I give you the current count at the number we're sitting in, and the more people joining in each and every day, we are at 784. That's not a bad thing, right? I almost uh, 10, not 10 guys, I almost multiplied my total subscribers by 20 times. So that's not a bad leap, right? Why? For a very simple reason, that people were seeing my face, they were seeing what I was doing, and therefore I was able to build this mini community around what I was doing, of enthusiasts and aspiring entrepreneurs and students who are interested into entrepreneurship and want to talk about all these things, right? So they will trust you more. And last but not least, let me give you the example of the last point I want to make, is what Jayant has already written in the comment. Sure, have already shared many of your videos with my friends. You are able to develop a mini influencer community or indirect influences around your brand. You all who watch my videos, maybe share them on Instagram, share this clip on the Instagram story, are influencers. You are helping me and helping my community to reach out to more people. It doesn't matter whether 10 people follow you, 100 people follow you. If even if 100 people are there on Instagram, I'm able to reach out to 100 people more. That helps me in keeping the momentum for the cause. So because these are free videos, right? So what motivates me? Motivation to give back, motivation to come and talk to you, motivation to let my steam out, motivation to come on a Saturday night and talk to all of you guys here. What pushes me? And numbers is a benchmark. So more people, when they come and subscribe, I get motivated. I get motivated to create good content. And of course, people, all of the ladies and gentlemen who are here, they come, give me ideas, give me input to talk about topics. For example, we finalize one topic like mentoring, right, which we haven't spoken about yet. So this is the collective effort of the community. So you are somehow able to build influence a community, right? If you agree with me on this, drop a boom in chat, or drop a got it in chat, or drop agree in chat, so that I know you agree with what I'm saying, right? So understand. And because see, everybody knows everything, right? And nobody knows anything. The reason why I do these sessions, to give you structured information. So this also helps you. So there's a topic about the community, you get everything in a structured format, you can always come and refer it back. So therefore, this is why you should be attending these sessions. So as I said, you can always do pre-sales, you can build a test market, you can do pre-sales. People will trust you more if you are building a community around that. And of course, your customer, your people in the community becomes your indirect influencer. They will put up Instagram stories, they will put up for social media posts, they like you. In fact, when I use a product and I genuinely like it, I make sure I'm giving it a Google review. And of course, there's no harm in asking for it, right? I keep on telling you, like the video, subscribe channel. If you are building a business, you have to do that, because even you don't expect people to do it for you. Go and ask, because without asking, the answer will always be no. So go and ask. There's no harm in telling people to go one step extra, right? So now, once you've understood the importance of building community, one advice or one task for all of you can be that why don't you go out there and build a community around your brand, right? There's no harm. And the beginning of the community can be as simple as getting people on Facebook, getting people on Instagram, getting people on a WhatsApp, limited people. Sorry, as simple as little as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people, and engage with them. Make them your stakeholder. Make them they're worthy part of the community. Make sure they have some value contribution happening there, right? If you're able to do that, you will with time keep on seeing compounding effect kicking in, which is eventually in the long run you will see the results coming up. And of course, you have to be consistent yourself. You can't just skip, right? You have to show up every freaking day to kind of get the job done, right? So these are a few things I would say about community that I want to talk about. Now, coming on to the last part of the session that I want to talk to all of you about is Discord. Now, in the comment, quickly let me know how many of you know about Discord already, and how many of you are going to maybe listen about Discord, or hearing it for the first time. Let me quickly also type the word in chat so that you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something called as Discord. And so in the chat, quickly guys, comment and let me know if you heard about Discord. So क्या आपको Discord के बारे में पता है या नहीं पता? I'm waiting for your comments. Let me know in the chat. Do you know about Discord? Also, let me know in chat, have you already heard about companies like Slack or Flock? क्या आपने इनके बारे में सुना है? If you have heard about that, let me know in the comment. If you haven't, I'll explain all these things to you in detail, because this is the future, right? So if you know about Slack and Flock right now, you're already ahead of your peers, right? And of course, it's good to know smart things, right? You can always go out there and be cool that, hey, I know Discord and I am on Discord, right? So yeah. Meanwhile, you're typing your questions or typing your inputs in chat. Let me answer Shore's question, because it's very interesting. How do I come up for the excuse of the other members in turn? Shore, I didn't get the question you're asking. हिंदी में लिख दो अगर आपको एक्सप्लेन करना है तो, because I'm not able to, how do I come up with excuse? मैं समझा नहीं. I'm not able to get your question, what you're saying. So quickly, in detail, explain it to me. What do you mean by the question that you're asking me, and I'll try and explain that question in detail. All right, so let me quickly share my screen with all of you, and meanwhile, let me start explaining the Discord. But before that, let me also ask you one thing, guys. What is the coolest place to hang out? Can all of you So a few of you know about Discord, a few of you don't know about Discord, but let me any which ways tell it to you in a brief, so that we are able to then understand Discord in detail. And of course, I've explained Discord a bit in one of my videos earlier, but I will maybe take 5 minutes more of your time and explain how does my Discord server look. Right? It will be important for all of you. Right? So, but before that, tell me, what is the coolest place to hang out? तुम कहाँ hang out करते हो? Abhi, of course, the pandemic is there. You can't move out of your home. But what is the coolest place to hang out? What is the place you go and hang out with your friends or maybe other colleagues in general? What's the coolest place to hang out? Right. Meanwhile, let me share my screen with all of you. Yes, the screen has been shared, and now I'll come on to that in a second. Wait for a second. Yeah. जल्दी चैट में बताओ. 13-14 people are watching. Quickly let me know in chat that where do you hang out, right? So if you know about the hangout thing, Discord is basically like a hangout spot, right? It's like a college canteen, but much cooler, right? It's movie theater mein learning with while traveling. Those movie theater mein kaun hangout karta hai? When I'm talking of the hangout, it's a college canteen, or it's a football ground, or it's a library, or maybe a cafe, one of the coolest cafes in your college, maybe a college ka tapri, maybe a coffee place. I think those are the places where you hang out in general. Maybe a garden, but that would be too cliche. But I think young people hang out at these places, right? Maybe a nice disco. ये कौन है भाई दोस्त? मूवी थिएटर और डिस्को में कौन हैंग आउट करता है? मैं पार्टी करने के लिए थोड़ी बोल रहा हूँ. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ हैंग आउट स्पॉट वी गो एंड चिट चैट विद पीपल, लेट योर स्टीम आउट, टॉक एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. ठीक है, maybe you might be hanging out at disco. Super, right? Okay. I go by what you're saying, right? So consider Discord uh, like a super uber cool hangout spot where you can go meet like-minded people, explore different conversations, explore different channels. So conversations are built into channels. I'll talk about the channels also. But why Discord is better than Slack, or why Discord is better than Flock, or why Discord is better than WhatsApp or Facebook is, let me give you the details. So the problem with WhatsApp is, let's decode all of them now. The problem with WhatsApp is it's not greatly moderated. It is super spammy, and then it's difficult to track conversations. So because if you're a part of a group, everybody could comment, right? So that's problem with WhatsApp. Facebook, the problem with Facebook, it's overcluttered, overcrowded. That's another challenge, and people do random shit, right? Now they come Slack. Slack also had functionalities like channels, segregating conversation. It's a great tool. In fact, if you don't know, if you haven't read the background of Slack founders, in fact, Slack was an accidental product. In fact, that's a great thing about startups. A lot of startups have been built out of accidents, right? So Slack was a gaming, they were building a gaming tool, and then the Slack happened. Similarly for Discord. So Discord is basically a community management tool, if I may put it in that way, from the community point of view, where you can pick up a server. There are multiple servers. There are millions of servers on Discord. Find a server that you want to kind of join, and you can join 100 servers like a TV channel, but where you can interact, you can find like-minded people, you can join conversations. And the great part is, because somebody also said Zoom, it has an advantage over Zoom and any other places, because you can also video chat and share a screen, stream, and go into voice conversations also, right? So the reason is because I was getting so many inquiries from a lot of you people. So many people were reaching out to me on my Instagram. uh, uh, See, I agree with what you're saying. WhatsApp is still most famous chatting application. It is, but WhatsApp is shitty, my friend. You will not be replying to random people on WhatsApp. What's your number has been spammed at hundreds of places, and WhatsApp has got random groups. People will be adding on randomly. But in Discord is much more selective, so it's more curated, right? And even if you're in a WhatsApp, let us say if you're in a startup group, even in a startup, there can be hundreds of conversations which will be going. So somebody would be wanting to discuss their idea. Somebody will be looking for a mentor. Somebody must be looking for pitching advice. Somebody must be looking for a funding advice. Somebody would be looking for maybe startup news. Somebody would be wanting to talk to somebody on a startup conference which is happening, events. incubator, accelerators. There's so many hundreds of topics which are going on into startup, right? So therefore, WhatsApp is not a justified solution there. So coming on to the Discord part, let me share my screen and let me share you how Discord works and how does my Discord look like, right? And of course, if you want to join, the link of joining is in the description of the video. You can go and click and you can simply log in and jump in. I'm seeing a lot of you people are already on the Discord. You've already started joining Discord. Let me also, for convenience, spam the chat with the Discord link so that you guys can easily click and join, because I know a few of you would be for sure lazy and you would want somebody to do it for you. So here you go, guys. As I said, make sure you, before I jump on your Discord, like the video, subscribe the channel, make sure you share it with your friends and in your network, right? Okay, so here you go. This is how my Discord looks like, right? So the couple of cool things you can do on this Discord, right? And of course, a few people have started joining in. There are 18, 20 people already. A few of them are, in not online, but a few of them are online. So you have welcome. Let me remove this for you as well. Let me then start talking about the Discord. Give me a second, folks. All right, that this is how my Discord looks like. So you have a welcome channel wherein you, when you're here, you land into this particular channel. It's a general channel. You guys can't post or comment anything here, right? This is a channel which is about me, the owner of the server. There are a couple of things about me, and there are a couple of links I've given you where you can go and follow me. But this is the key highlight I want to talk to about. You are the average of 5 people with whom you spend most of your time. The reason why this is the opening line is because, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, you are always an average of 5 people, or the content you consume, you're an average of that. The problem with that thing is, when you're in a college, right? Most of your friends don't want to do a startup. Most of your friends don't want to talk about great things. Most of your friends don't talk about education material. They would still be looking for just another corporate job, and they don't want to kind of be in a space where they can grow. This is even a much, much, much bigger problem in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where the kids are in tier 2, tier 3 college and are already not motivated. So this Discord is basically built for people who are aspirational, who want to come and talk to like-minded people, collaborate, build, create, communicate, right? Of course, the rule section is blank right now. I'll be posting it very soon, but the general rules apply. Don't spam, don't be polite with people, don't post shitty comment, no political, religious and that sort of conversation. And we have moderators already in place. We'll be keeping a watch onto that. And then you have something like that from where you can access add-on channels. Now, what are standard channels? This is very interesting. So we have introductions only. If you are already here, make sure you drop an introduction so that people know. So you just have to drop one line of introduction so that people know who you are and what you do, right? There's something called a general chat. This is random shit happening. This is where I will let people do spamming, right? You can do random stuff in general chat. For example, one guy has already put in something here, so you can do general random chat here. Then this is most important. Most of you guys have been reaching out to me to talk about a startup idea. You want a feedback on the startup idea. This is where you post your startup ideas, right? Now, I did a video, in fact, an article long back. If you haven't seen that article, let me give you the link of that, which is called Ideas Have Zero Value. In fact, I explained, I spoke about that idea long back as well. This is the article I want to talk about with all of you. So a logical explanation why idea has zero value. An idea will always have zero value because idea is not a tangible asset. If you want to read this article later on, I will give you the link of this article in the chat, so you can always go back and read. Hey Ayush is here. So Ayush, guys, is I'm pinning his comment. Ayush is my channel Discord admin right now. He's a rock star. He has helped me a lot in setting up the Discord. So he's a Discord champion. So thanks to you, Ayush, the Discord is up, live and running. And of course, what we'll do is we'll very soon be getting in more moderators, right? So Ayush is here. Thank you, Ayush, for joining the conversation today. All right. So coming back to the thing. So if you have any ideas, guys, drop in your ideas here. If you're looking for feedback, if you're looking for comments, if you're looking for suggestions, this is a place where you can come and discuss your ideas, drop your ideas so that other people can read and give you a feedback. Then I have another very interesting thing. A lot of you are into prototyping stages. You want people to come and test your products. You want to give them access to your products to get a user feedback early on. This is the place where you can come and post about your products. I think somebody has already done that. Craft to Bench, we are a startup based out of Delhi. We have something different for you people, and people can give him a feedback. I think it's a great way of collecting feedback for your startup product. Right now, pitch decks. If you are about to pitch to investors, if you have a pitch deck ready looking for a feedback, come and drop your pitches here or practice your pitches here. You want to talk about funding, we have a dedicated channel on funding. You want to talk about startup news, what's happening, what is why Reliance bought Urban Ladder, or why Tesla is a $1 billion company, any and everything happening around that, come here. You want to talk to me, want to ask a question at AMA with DNK, or have a direct question for me, post your question into Q&A with DNK. Now, the two channels which are must subscribe: the YouTube channel, the live notification channel, where you get the link, link of whenever I go live, and of course the video notification. I am making a lot of video content. You will get information there. But the fun is not done yet. There are 3 and 4 important channels I want to now talk about, which are super fun. Now, what are they? One, find a co-founder. Most of you who are into very, very early stage and want to basically find a co-founder, come and join this channel. This is where you will find a co-founder. Startup events. You want to attend the next big startup competition, you want to see what is happening in the startup world, you want to join an accelerator program. This is where I will get you all the startup related events and things. Deals and promotions. If you are a startup founder, if you are a part of this channel, we will be posting a lot of deals and promotion things, so you get access to a lot of things at discounted cheaper price. And then there are 3 voice channels. This is where I will be hanging out most often. You have Startup Lounge 1. Come hang out with people, talk to them, know them, discuss your ideas. Startup Lounge 2 and Startup Books and Podcasts. You can come, talk to people here, and that's it. And if you have anything about Discord help, any suggestions, drop your suggestions here, drop your Discord help here, and that is it. So now we have roughly, I don't know how many people, 9 plus 18, that's the people there. And of course, we are in the process of promoting Discord as much as possible. So I'll be making sure that I get more and more and more people who are like-minded and would want to come and join the community. So that's my community out there, guys. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're somebody who want to be a part of this community, come and join the Discord server. And of course, I will be hanging out in Discord every day at night, roughly around 10 or 11. That will be my time of logging into Discord. So I'll be checking out what's happening in the group. And of course, the moderators are there to curate and moderate and everything. And of course, I'm already introduced Ayush to a lot of you. Make sure that you can talk to them. Right? Thank you for your comment. Learning while traveling, Co-Founders Planet. Yes, a lot of websites are there that will help you to find dedicated co-founders. But the idea behind Discord is to create a close-knit community. If you want to go out there in the world and talk to anybody, that's absolutely fine. But the reason why people will come here is because I am the anchor, right? Any and everybody who knows me will come here, and I am the moderator, I'm the anchor. I will be controlling things. So therefore, people who know me would trust me, and will feel more secure while coming in talking to people. The websites like this, which will enable you to find a co-founder, have worked in the past. But you should go and see my video on YouTube. Why do you need a co-founder, and how can you find a co-founder? And you'll see a lot of websites have also failed in this space for a very, very, very simple reason, that you will find random strangers there, which is very, very difficult. There's no moderation happening. There's no common pointer or anchor is there, right? So closing today's session. And if you have any more questions, drop them now so that I can answer them for you. Meanwhile, I can move back onto the question that Harshit asked above. And if you have any more questions, drop them. I can answer them for you. And then we will wrap the session for today. I'm still seeing people joining Discord. Fantastic, guys. So coming on to Harshit's question, what is the perfect time to say I'm an entrepreneur in front of any person? As many people use this word with their name, but I want to add this word with my name only when I'm eligible. Harshit, It's a great question, right? In fact, for almost a lot of time, I was not using the word entrepreneur for myself. In fact, I'll tell you my personal story and my personal curve, right? The first ever business card that I got printed in 2010 for my business, that card used to say Dilnawaz Khan, CEO and director of my company. And after a few years, I discarded both the titles, both the CEO and the director, and I was not using anything else. So even if you look at my signature today, and I can share this with you guys, if I can show you my live real signature, this is how my real signature looks like. Just see this. In my official email, I don't have a founder or a CEO or anything like that in my real signature. I don't use that anymore, right? Because people who know me know who I am. And of course, it's a decade long experience that I'm talking about. But it's a very important question. When should you be putting I'm an entrepreneur? When you think you have or you are building a successful company and you have achieved some sort of a success. See, the biggest challenge with saying I'm an entrepreneur is, with entrepreneurship, it being such a volatile market, if you fail, because with entrepreneurship people connect a lot of pride, right? And if you fail at some point in time, uh, if you move back to a job or if you do something else, it'll be a lot of social pressure on you of explaining it to people and telling them, hey, my company failed, and it brings a lot of social stigma and problem around failure, right? So once you become confident, once you once it comes from once the inner voice says that now is the time to say I'm an entrepreneur, and of course the outer confirmation is that you have achieved some sort of a success, that is the time I think you should be saying I'm an entrepreneur, right? And if you ask me that how do you know whether you're successful outside or not, because companies can fail at any time, again it will come with confidence. You will automatically feel confident, right? So to sum it up all, right, till the time you don't feel confident enough in saying I'm an entrepreneur, don't say it, right? If once you start comfortable and confident in saying, and you can wear the badge with a lot of pride and dignity, and there's enough data to back it up, then start saying I'm an entrepreneur, right? I think this should give you some sort of a criteria. When can you start saying I'm an entrepreneur? All right, any more question left? I have a few. So Shore, you still need to pose the question. How do I come up with excuse? I didn't get that. Jen has a question. Just one suggestion. Is it anyhow possible to make the video on this channel a little shorter? Because clicking one hour video is little difficult. Yes, Jen, I am trying to. It's a good suggestion, my friend. In fact, I'm trying to create a lot of micro videos. So if you see my channel, I did a few smaller videos as well long back. Uh, in fact, when I was pretty much engaged, I was building a lot of. I had some bandwidth in my hand, so I was I can quickly share and show it to you if you haven't seen the channel yet. Give me a second, folks. See this. So I had these small videos, and in fact I was making these micro videos. This one is what, like, I can't see the time. Yeah, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. These are all small videos about a topic about which I talk. So the long formats are the one where you can just wear the headphone and listen to them. The shorter ones are clips of this, but I am still in the process of making smaller videos. Jen, thank you so much. I really appreciate your feedback and input, and yes, I will be making more crispier, shorter videos. But I can't stop doing lives, because this is what keeps me disciplined and also gives me an opportunity to come and talk to all of you guys, right? Thank you so much for the lovely comment. And what else am I missing on today, ladies and gentlemen? Is there any question? Discord OP. Yes, I use Discord OP in the chat, please. And what else? All right. So no more questions there. So I think we're done with the session today. I think we already spent 1 hour 40 minutes together. There are 10 people watching. Thank you so much for joining in. Once again, closing remarks, right? So today's session we spoke about community building, importance of community building. Think about it, guys. If you weren't able to absorb everything in one go, go back, watch the video again, because it is very, very important for you to build a community, because it will not only be important, but even if you're in a B2C sort of a business to consumer kind of a model, right? At one point in time, you will have to convert your consumers into a community, because if you're not able to convert your consumers into a community, you will be losing upon a lot of compounding aspect. You'll be losing a lot on the word of the mouth aspect. So at one point in time, you will have to make sure you're not looking them as consumers, or just the consumers or buyers, but also as community, right? So we spoke about a lot about that. We spoke about why communities fail. We spoke about why online Facebook and things like that don't work a lot. And then, of course, we spoke about why you as an entrepreneur can leverage building a community for your small business. And then we spoke at length about Discord. If you haven't joined Discord, come and join Discord. Trust me, to be super cool place. I personally will, yes, super like good comments falling in. Community also help you to build a personal brand. Yes, it helps you to build a personal brand. How to sell high margin products? Random wise, I'll not pick this up question. I'll maybe pick this up next time. It's too open ended, I would say. When you say how to sell high margin products, uh, get clients who can pay you the high margin, right? When I say high margin products, so my business is a high margin product, but it's a high ticket size, high margin product business, right? So when I say high ticket size, I'm charging them lakhs of rupees with huge margins, but the sales cycles become longer because people need to trust you. You need to have a lot of credibility, and you cannot go and reach out to any random people. You have to build one-on-one relations. Only then you will be able to sell high ticket, high margin products, right? If the ticket is low, then you need volumes, and the game changes. So I think it's a great topic to talk about as well. I'll maybe try and do a video on that, about pricing sensitivity later on. So on that note, let's close, guys. Let's close. I think we have already spent a couple of good time. I hope you enjoyed the conversation today. Drop a boom in chat if you're still here and if you like the conversation today. And thank you so much for joining in today on the 20th episode. I'm so happy we've been doing it from a couple of months now. Most importantly, for all those who are watching, the last thing I want to talk to you before I leave: cracking the code is back, folks. All those who have been watching the episodes on cracking the code, I'm going to talk to Ekta Chaudhary in episode 19 on this Thursday, which is 10th. Make sure you turn on your reminder from here for the video, and also make sure you turn on the bell icon if you haven't done so. Cracking the code is back. For all those who don't know what cracking the code is basically a video series that I do for non-startup guys, somebody who doesn't want to get into startup, but is still in an is an aspirational guy, wants to explore something around unconventional careers. So if you don't know about cracking the code, I have done a lot of videos. See my screen. I've done video with Gursimran Khamba, Kanish Priyadarshi, Frisia, Karan Singh Magic, Akash Banerjee, and likes of those. And the main idea behind all these videos is to explore unconventional career opportunities, right? So yeah, these are the videos you should be watching. They're also on the podcast. We're already on Spotify, and the edited videos are on Codesign Labs YouTube channel. If you maybe later want to go and subscribe that channel as well, I can give link to all of you. What's the harm in that, right? I can always give you the link, and maybe later on, because the edit videos are there, uh, and you can go and watch that. All right. So on that note, thank you so much once again for joining in. I will see you Thursday, 4 p.m. next Saturday, 9 p.m. and a new podcast in the pipeline. So a lot of good stuff coming in. Join the Discord, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe the channel. See you soon. Ravi Tiwari Chess, I noted your comment, college businesses. Yes, my friend, I have done a video on that already. I think if you go and see the video, everything about student entrepreneurship, this one, I have covered a few business ideas. I can again copy that for you in the chat. If you think it will be difficult for you to find that, here you go, my friend. Here you go. So you can go and watch that video, and I will then maybe later on do a dedicated video around it. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. Take care. See you Thursday, 10th December, 4 p.m. Don't miss that one. It'll be super fun talking to Ekta. Check out her profile. She's a garden. She run a garden channel on YouTube with 1 million followers. It'll be super fun. Stay tuned. See you Thursday, 4 p.m. next Saturday, 9 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in to AMA with DNK episode number 20, Important Startup Building in Communities. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great weekend. Stay at home. Stay safe. Have a good night.